spot, bringing stats like a kingpin. MMA knowledge needs his nephews all lean in, breaking down fights, codes that daddy supreme on. Just a tip show, he's cooking up a dream. Uncle Weezy, he the man, dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand, MMA guru, more than just a fan. Wanna know the numbers? Weezy got them cataloged, from the fighters reach down to how many times they dog. Just a tip living, breaking it down slick, hit you with the knowledge, won't miss a single trick. Uncle Weezy, he the man, dropping fight facts, got it all on hand. He the stat attack grand, MMA guru, more than just a fan. Balls deep predictions, he be making those calls, getting in the details, opponents feeling small. From jabs to takedowns, got the whole fight ID. Uncle Weezy spitting truth, no lie, keep it G. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Stat Daddy Weezy not showing no scorn. Fight Night Kingdom, he wearing the crown. Break it down for the peeps, never looking like a clown.
Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday afternoon. We've got the UFC starting in, I believe, exactly 12 hours. So this video, you got 12 hours to watch it, and up until these fights start, and then it's pretty much worthless. So we got to get to work here. It's a very weird card. You know, it's UFC Macau taking place, I think, exactly 12 time zones away from where I'm at. So literally halfway across the world. So, we're going to have a lot of Asian fighters on this card. We're going to have some people making long trips to get to where they're going here in Macau. And it's going to be an interesting card to break down from a betting perspective, from a DraftKings perspective, figuring out ways to stack cash tickets like flapjacks on this card. I've got about 7.5 units of tracked bets so far. Just made a 3-unit bet today after I saw some line movement that was in the favor of the way that I wanted it to go. But, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you guys a quick full card breakdown. We're going to give you a Greasy 4-leg parlay. And we're also going to do the dog pick of the week and Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week like we always do. We're going to put together a Greasy 4-leg parlay. And then I've got a really nice take this job and shove it parlay. The kind of parlay where if you hit it, you can go and tell your boss on Monday to take this job and shove it because I'm retired and buying a yacht. So that's the plan for this show today. I've got a quick full card breakdown that we're going to start off with here, you guys. And let me share my screen with you so that you guys can see these picks that I've been making. All right. First fight of the night is going to be Maheshate versus Nick Mota. These lines were put into my StreamYard back when I did the full card breakdown on Wednesday evening. Full card breakdown, balls deep breakdowns with Uncle Weezy. And then obviously a rundown of all the plus EV bets using my betting models along with the stylistic reads that I gave out on Wednesday night is available on Probability. That is available in the links down there to the Dub Club and the Patreon. If you want to support the work, 4 hours of subscriber-only content that I don't put out here on for free on YouTube anymore. So if you want to be part of the team, you want to get access to some really high-level UFC betting content that I do every single week only for my Patreon and Dub Club members, check the link in the description of the video here, and you can join us and get access to the fight write-ups, to my betting models, to all the stats, you know, to the Discord, to the tracked bets, and to the 4+ hours of weekly content that goes along with that. For this fight, Maheshate versus Nick Mota. Nick Mota, I am picking him to win this one by second round knockout. I think Maheshate's got a lot of on-paper advantages here. If we were to look at my fight write-ups for this fight, Maheshate has got a slight advantage when it comes to the UFC strength of schedule because his wins are better. I kind of have the striking even. I really do believe that Maheshate is the better minute winner when it comes to the striker, when it comes to the distance striking exchanges, but I do believe that Nick Mota is going to be live to land bombs And I don't think Maheshate's striking defense is particularly good. So against a hard hitter like Mota, who could be patient and who has found his way into the pocket against much taller strikers like he's going to be facing this time in Maheshate, against guys like Cameron Van Camp, against guys like Tom Nolan, he's gotten into the pocket, found his way in, and knocked them out. And I think that he's got a chance to do that here. But yeah, Maheshate, 7 years younger, 3 inches taller. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. I think he's the more durable fighter, and he's got the UFC strength to schedule advantage, while Mota's got more power on the feet and more pro experience. I mean, I do think that Mota is being at Tiger Muay Thai is going to help him out here. And he's not going to have to make as long of a trip to Asia here because he's already going to be in Thailand training. And yeah, I think Mota is a pretty good striker. So I think that the plus money is good here. Maheshate is just not a guy I want to lay juice on at the UFC level. He was minus 235 against his last opponent, Gabriel Benitez, and looked about minus 150 maybe, you know. So, and I think that this is a tougher opponent in that you got some real power on the Mota side to deal with. So yeah, Nick Mota by second round KO is the pick there. Next fight, Long Xiao versus Kwang Lee. Long Xiao minus 137, Kwang Lee plus 117. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at plus 140. I'm picking Long Xiao to win this one by decision, but it's very reluctantly. I'm going with Long Xiao because he's the much younger fighter and the much more experienced fighter, and he's fighting at home in China. But Kwang Lee, I believe, is going to be the better moment winner wherever this fight goes. I think he's probably more likely to land a knockout. I also believe he's probably more likely to land a submission, even though Long Xiao's got excellent scrambles and very good submission defense. So I think that this fight's going to go to decision most likely, but I think if there is a finish, it's going to come on the Kwang Lee side. Kwang Lee by knockout at plus 750 has my attention, as does the Kwang Lee money line at plus 120, plus 125, because I feel like this is a coin flip fight. I do believe that Kwang Lee's more skilled when it comes to the striking. I believe that he's probably going to be more likely to land the big shots. I didn't like what I saw from Long Xiao's striking against Christian Quinones on Dana White's Contender Series. And in the most recent fights, we didn't see much in terms of distance striking from Long Xiao because he spent so much time in the grappling exchanges here. So I do believe that if Kwang Lee can keep this fight at distance striking range, that he could probably win this fight. So while I'm picking Long Xiao after doing all the breakdown and researching all the angles, it's by about that much. So with Kwang Lee sitting at plus 117 on some books, as good as plus 125 on others, I believe this is a dog or pass situation. And I believe that I might be putting a 1-unit bet on the Kwang Lee money line and might be sprinkling his KO prop at plus 750. So the pick is going to be Long Xiao by decision, but the bet might be on Kwang Lee because this line is just going a little bit too far in terms of Long Xiao being a little bit too big of a favorite here. The next fight, Lonnie Kavanagh at minus 365 going up against Jose Ochoa at 290. The fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at minus 140. I think these guys are very well matched. I think that Kavanagh is probably going to be the better minute winner wherever the fight goes. I believe if Ochoa gets too aggressive, Kavanagh will be able to find takedowns. And I also believe that Kavanagh is going to be the more accurate striker, landing the bigger shots on the feet. But Kavanagh is a minus 365 favorite. And I believe that Ochoa is a very good fighter. He's undefeated. He's never seen a third round, so he has good finishing instincts. And he trains at Shoot to Box Diego Lima with guys like Charles Oliveira. And he's kind of like one of these guys, you know. I mean, we saw one of his teammates go out there, Shoot Box Diego Lima guy and Felipe Dos Santos and go 3 rounds with Manel Kopp. You know, these guys are trained well. They train hard. They spar hard in the gym so that when they get in there in the cage, you know, going forward and making the fight a fight, you know, making it a scrap, seeing who wants it more. That seems to be embedded in all of these guys. So I believe that Ochoa is going to give Lonnie Kavanagh all he can handle. And I don't think Lonnie Kavanagh is going to be able to find a finish against this kid. So I'm picking Lonnie Kavanagh by decision because I believe he's the better minute winner everywhere. But I think Ochoa is an interesting underdog play, especially at the price of plus 290 this week. So Kavanagh by decision is going to be the pick there. Next pick, Niam Jargo, Tumendemberel at plus 160 going up against Carlos Hernandez at minus 185. There's money coming in on the Tumendemberel side. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at plus 110. So I've got a big bet on Hernandez here because the line moved to minus 150 on Caesars William Hill. I've got a 3-unit bet on Carlos Hernandez to win this fight. Tumendemberel is somebody that I don't think is very good. I think that he swings hammers on the feet. I think that he throws to try to hurt you. So he's a guy who's ready to fight. And if he lands big shots or gets you hurt, he's gonna show good finishing instincts and look to get you out of there. But I think Hernandez is much more skilled when it comes to the boxing. I also, Tumendemberel's ground game looked absolutely awful on the regional scene and against Top Noi Kirwam. I don't trust this guy's grappling game at all. So I kind of feel like if Hernandez, starts to not like the pressure from Tumendemberel, he can just start to grapple here. I think that he's going to kind of pick Tumendemberel apart at range. I do believe that he's the much better wrestler and much better grappler. And I think that anytime he can get a takedown, advance to this guy's back, and finish with the rear naked choke. I have a 1-unit bet on Carlos to win by submission here. I also have a 1/4-unit bet on Tumendemberel to win by KO in rounds 1 or 2 that's sitting at almost plus 1,000 that I have as a little hedge here because this guy does swing hammers. And if he lands clean on your chin, it might be nighty-night. Keep your butthole tight. So while I do like Hernandez here to get the job done, and I think he's going to finish this guy with submission by getting a takedown, advancing to this dude's back, and finishing the fight. So I'm looking for Carlos Hernandez to win this one and win it inside the distance by 3rd round submission. Next fight is going to be Ming Shi at plus 310 versus Xiao Feng at minus 410. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at plus 275. I've got Xiao Feng winning this fight by decision. Feng is a very young fighter. She's only 22 years old. She's already been pretty well tested on the regional scene in Asia. A couple of fights against Miki Matono. And, she can be taken down. She can be held down a little bit. But, we're seeing those fights happen and those things happen when Xiao Tan was very young. So she's getting older. She's getting more experience. And she already has the natural things that you can't teach, like height, like reach, like size for a strawweight. So I think that the arrow is pointing straight up for Feng, while Shi Ming is somebody that is kind of where she's at right now. She's very undersized for the division. She can wrestle a little bit. She can strike a little bit. But she's going into these fights as underdogs for a reason. And I think that Feng is somebody here that, her decision prop is sitting at minus 170. So the market is very, very confident that she's going to be able to win the minutes of this fight. And she probably has most of the finish upside as well. So, yeah, I would say it's a safe parlay piece, but it's minus 410. It's at this point, you can just stay away from this fight. But I do believe that Feng gets the job done here by decision. The next fight is a fight that's very close here. It's a pick'em in the flyweight division. We got Kiro Sahota and we've got Dong Hoon Choi. I kind of feel like Sahota is going to be the minute winner here. He throws a lot more volume. He's a lot taller and longer, so he's going to be able to use his kicks, use his knees. And if he wants to get this into the clinch, I think he's going to be able to win minutes in the clinch here. But Sahota being so tall and long, he can be taken down and he can be hit. He's very hittable at range too. So I believe that Dong Hoon Choi can land big shots on the feet here. But outside of landing the big shots, I think Sahota's going to win the minutes of this fight. So I believe this one goes to decision. I believe that Kiro Sahota gets the nod. But I do believe that Choi is live. But at the current line, I think the line is about where it should be. I would maybe have Sahota minus 120, Dong Hoon Choi plus 100 just because of the height and length and a lot more experience as a professional. Been in there against some pretty good names, but I think Choi is very live. He's young, he's getting better, and he's finding some moments in fights that are helping him turn the tides, even though he loses minutes. So I think it's very close, but I'm going with Kiro Sahota here by decision. Next fight is going to be Bargung Jiliisi at plus 125 going up against Su Young Yu, minus 145. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at plus 120. I've got Su Young Yu winning this one by decision. Jenisuly's well-tested. He's got some pretty good names on his resume. The striking looks functional. The wrestling looks functional. The ground game looks functional, and he's having fairly close fights against, similar types of opponents to Su Young Yu. But what I like for what I saw from Yu that I liked was a little bit of power on the feet, a little bit of explosiveness on the feet, and a little bit better, like if he takes you down and you take him down, it's like Yu's going to get 40 seconds of control time and he's only going to allow 20. So I just see a little bit more grappling efficiency on the Su Young Yu side. I see a little bit more power and explosiveness on the feet on the Su Young Yu side. I think that these guys are very well matched. I think that the grappling exchanges are going to be close. So I see this one going to decision, and I see Su Young Yu and his jiu-jitsu getting the nod here. Next fight's a real banger. You got Minyang Zhang, one of the biggest heads in the UFC. The guy, look at this dude's head. Look at that. Look at the size of that thing, man. It's like an Easter Island statue. I mean, you can hit him square in the face with a shovel, and he will not go down. This guy's got a brick for a head. And he's going up against Ozzy Diaz, who's making the long trip from South Central Los Angeles to Macau here. He's a plus 270 underdog. Fight doesn't go to decision. Juice to the tits at minus 600. And I think Minyang Zhang gets the job done here. Diaz is pretty hittable. You see him kind of Homer Simpsoning guys on the regional scene against Bavon Lewis, against Chuck Campbell. But Zhang is a guy who hits a lot harder than those guys. And I think if Zhang, gets on top of him and starts landing ground and pound, the ref's going to step in and stop this fight. They're trying to make some Chinese stars here. And Zhang has got the potential because he's very young and very experienced for a young fighter. So now that he's in the UFC, he's not going to do what a lot of young Chinese prospects do, which is fight 6 to 8 times a year and just be willing to take losses, show up, keep getting paid, keep getting a bunch of experience, but without really paying a lot of attention to your record. Now, Zhang doesn't have to show up and fight 6 times a year. He can show up and fight 2 to 3 times a year. He can kind of pick and choose and try to get on those Chinese cards so he doesn't have to travel. And I think that this is a great setup matchup for him. Obviously, the bookies are saying minus 600, fight doesn't go. So they're going to say that this one is going to finish inside the distance. And I tend to agree. Both of these guys have power. Neither one of these guys really gets to the scorecards often at all. One time combined in Ozzy Diaz's pro career and Minyang Zhang have these guys seen the scorecards. One time combined. So looking for a finish here. I think Diaz rounds 2-3 could be cheeky just in case Zhang doesn't have cardio past 5 minutes, which we've never seen him win a fight as a professional that got out of the first round. 100% of his wins are first round finishes. So while I think Diaz has some late finishing equity here, I think he's outgunned early. I think that Zhang's a lot more durable than he is, and I think he hits a lot harder than Diaz does. So I'm going with Zhang by first round knockout. Next fight is going to be Volkan Oezdemir plus 200, Ulberg minus 235. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at minus 190. I'm going with Carlos Ulberg by decision here. I think Volkan is live at this number, though. Volkan's the much more experienced fighter. He's got the better grappling game. He's got a massive strength of schedule advantage. And when you look at the wins of Volkan Oezdemir at the UFC level and you put him side by side with Carlos Ulberg's wins, you realize that this is a massive step up in competition for Carlos Ulberg. But at the same time, Ulberg is going out there and absolutely dick-sawing his opponents and just getting them out of there nice and early, making it look very easy. So he absolutely deserves this kind of a step up in competition. And Oezdemir, in my opinion, should be grappling here. He should be wrestling. He should be making Carlos Ulberg fight a fight that he's very uncomfortable with. But and if he does that, I think that he can have a path to victory here. And I think he's also live to land a big shot on the feet, obviously. Volkan's a very skilled striker, but Ulberg is going to be much better on the feet, and he's got excellent footwork and movement, so he's very hard to find. If you look at Carlos Ulberg's striking statistics, the distance striking statistics, he's got a really good positive distance striking differential. He's very difficult to hit, and he uses his kicks to maintain range, and he uses his footwork to stay out of the way of his opponent's power strikes. So I think he's going to be a very good minute winner here at range. And while Oezdemir, I think, will be able to get a couple of takedowns and work to try to win some minutes on the mat, when Volkan took down Bogdan Guskov got back up. So, and I think Guskov's like basically terrible on the mat. I think Ulberg is probably just as good as him, if not better. It was when Oezdemir knocked down Guskov that we saw him actually, use some grappling and win some minutes with it. But it's really not his game. This guy is not shooting a lot of takedowns. He's not known for pushing a grappling heavy pace. So if he tries to fight a fight that's really not his fight, I think he's going to get outworked here, outlanded, and I think Carlos Ulberg is going to win the decision. I've got a 1-unit bet on Carlos Ulberg to win by decision at plus 310 on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Next fight is Kong Wang at minus 800 going up against Gabriela Fernandez at plus 550. The fight doesn't go to decision, sitting at plus 115 here for this fight. So I've got Kong Wang winning this one by decision. I think she's absolutely live to get a knockout as well. I just don't know exactly how good Kong Wang's striking is at this level because we just haven't seen enough of it. Her beating Paula Luna, which was basically a grappling match, didn't tell us much. Her knocking out Victoria Leonardo doesn't tell us much. But Gabriela Fernandez is a kickboxer. That's what she does, So I think that we're going to find out a lot more about Kong Wang's striking here and find out how elite it is for the UFC level, because we know she's got a high level Muay Thai kickboxing background. So we know that, she's ready to strike. And we also saw in the Paula Luna fight that she can defend leg locks. She can defend submissions. She can get sweeps. She can get submissions. So I'm really interested to see how the Joker looks in this spot here. Wouldn't be surprised if she got a knockout, but I'm going to pick, with the pillow fist gloves being in play for this event, I'm going to pick Kong Wang to win this one by decision over Gabriela Fernandez. The next fight is going to be Song Kanan at plus 150 going up against Muslim Salikhov at minus 175. Fight doesn't go to decision, sitting at minus 115 for this fight. Excuse me. Let me get a little bit. Okay. I've got Salikhov winning this one by decision. I'm not a fan of Song Kanan. He's a big-time minute loser in the striking exchanges. He waits to land big shots, and while he's waiting and trying to set up those big shots, he just gets outstruck, out-volumed, and there's no grappling upside whatsoever here. So I believe that Salikhov has all the grappling upside here, and I believe that he's the much better minute winner at distance striking range. And even though Song Kanan's a very gifted moment winner at distance striking range, I don't even know if he's a better moment winner than Salikhov. So this is a fight that, while Song Kanan is the younger guy, the more athletic guy, obviously at this point in his career, I don't know where he's a better fighter than Muslim Salikhov. So I think if you're fading Salikhov here, you're kind of just saying, look, he's 40, he's old, he's getting to be past it. But even at that age, even with the performance against like Santiago Ponzinibbio, I think Ponzinibbio is way better than Kanan Song. So I'm very confident in the Salikhov side here. I think he's a potential parlay piece this week. I like him to win by decision, but I also think he could land a spinning back kick to the body that winds up just folding this dude like a lawn chair. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got a finish or if he got a decision here. So even though I like the Salikhov decision line at like plus 170, plus 175, I think it might not cash because I think he might get a finish with some of these very creative and accurate and powerful spinning attacks that Muslim brings to the cage with him. So like the King of Kung Fu here to get a big win over Kanan Song, and I think he gets it done by decision here. Next fight is going to be Tabitha Ricci going up against Yan Xiaonan. Yan is a minus 190 favorite. Tabitha plus 165 is an underdog. The fight doesn't go to decision here. Is sitting at plus 275 for this fight. So my pick is going to be Tabitha Ricci to win by decision. I believe that Yan Xiaonan is obviously the much better striker here. And I believe that if this fight stays at distance striking range for most of the fight, that Yan's going to make it look very easy, and she'll get a win here, potentially even a knockout. But the one thing I haven't seen from Jan is, first of all, a lot of her opponents don't even try to grapple her. So she gets the fight that she wants a lot of the time. But she doesn't see a lot of takedown attempts. And even though she doesn't see a lot of takedown attempts, she still stuffs those takedowns at a very bad percentage of only 63%. And she spends about 3/8 of her UFC cage time in control time positions. So I want to see, when I see somebody that has a striking advantage, and let's say they're fighting somebody like Tabitha Ricci, who spends less than 70% of her distance striking, or of her UFC octagon time at distance striking range. I want to see the girl with the striking advantage be striking 85% of the time. I don't want to see her grappling 1/3 of the time. I don't want to see her grappling more than 1/3 of the time. But Yan Xiaonan is doing that, and that's with only seeing an average amount of takedown attempts against. Tabitha Ricci is somebody who's getting 3 takedowns per 15 minutes and attempting close to 10. So I think that Ricci's going to fight the fight that Yan Xiaonan does not want her to fight. I think she's going to be pressuring Yan Xiaonan. She's probably going to eat some strikes on the way in, but if she can get into the clinch here, if she can start using that judo to fuck with the feet of Yan Xiaonan, get some sweeps, some trips, some reaps, some throws, get this fight down to the ground where Yan Xiaonan just doesn't look very good, plain and simple. And she's 35 years old. You know, I mean, like, she is who she is at this point. I don't think we're going to see much improvements in the ground game here. Tabitha Ricci's the much younger fighter, 6 years younger. She's at a little bit of a different career trajectory right now than Yan Xiaonan is, coming off a 5-round ass whooping against the current champion in Weili Zhang, where she was probably finished 2 different times in that fight, once by submission and once by knockout. And yeah, so I mean, I think that this is a good spot for plus money. I think that this is going to be a very close fight. I'm picking Ricci by decision, so I think she's a good dog look this week at plus 165, and I have a 1-unit bet on her to win by decision that I got earlier in the week at plus 285 in Bet Rivers Sportsbook. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Peter No Mercy Yan, minus 300, going up against the former flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo at plus 250. Fight doesn't go to decision here, sitting at plus 110. I got Peter Yan winning this one by decision. I think it's going to be a close fight, though. I think Davison probably wins the first round here at a high clip because Peter's such a slow starter. And we've seen Peter give up his back, and we've seen Peter, you know, get hit with some big shots on the feet as well. So I think that Figueiredo can find a moment in one of these in the second, third, fourth, or fifth round. I think he can find maybe a takedown and a back take in one of the rounds, and he can make this fight very close. You know, Peter Yan has been priced as a favorite in each of his last 6 fights, and he's 2 wins and 4 losses over that stretch. So when you see Peter Yan at minus 300, you know, it's hard to get on board with that, because the guy has let people down so many times as a massive favorite. You know, the Aljamain Sterling fight, the rematch, I thought he won, but the 2 of the judges gave round 1 to Sterling. It was a close round. It could have went either way, but he you know, lost those rounds where Aljo got to his back twice, you know, and that was the difference. He had a dumbass knee to the head against Aljo as a big favorite. He was priced at minus 275 versus Merab, you know, so he's let people down as a favorite. Like I say, 4 out of his last 6 fights. So, but Figueiredo is not a great minute winner, and Peter Yan is one of the great moment winners of the bantamweight division. 10 knockdowns, 4, only 1 allowed. So, and he's got excellent takedown defense as well. So and it's going to be hard for Figgy to get takedowns, for him to find those back takes. It's going to be hard for him to land big shots against somebody that's as, you know, as complete of a boxer as Peter Yan is. So I do think Peter Yan's going to win. I think Yan 4 and 5 are also in play here. You know, I think a late finish for Yan is in play, but I'm going to pick Peter Yan to win this one by decision. So that's the picks that we got here. Yan by decision, Ricci by decision, Salikhov by decision, Wang by decision, Ulberg by decision, the Mountain Tiger, Min Yang Zhang by first round KO. Su Young Yu by decision. Sahota by decision. Feng by decision. Hernandez by submission in round 3. Kavanagh by decision. Long Xiao by decision. And Nick Mota, KO round 3. So the Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week this week is one of the 2 underdogs that we have here. It's either going to be Nick Mota or it's going to be Tabitha Ricci. And I'm going with Nick Mota here at plus 160, plus 165. I think that this fight's going to play out very close. And because of that, I think that Nick Mota is going to be able to lean on that experience, the slightly better overall strength of schedule that he's fought as a professional in order to find his way into the pocket and do what he does, which is land that big left hook, land that big right hand, and win the moments of this fight and either get his hand raised via a knockout or just by landing the bigger shots in this striking match. Maheshate's striking defense has never been good, but Mota's isn't great either. And Mota's pretty chinny, but I like the power differential on his side, and I'm picking Mota to win by second round knockout. So yeah, that is going to be your Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week. And that leaves us with one order of business left on the full card breakdown, and that is Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Looking for somebody to win and win violently. And I had come down to 3 possible people here. Carlos Hernandez, because I'm picking him to win inside the distance against Tumendemberel, and I believe that he's much better than him. Mountain Tiger Min Yang Zhang is a finisher of the highest order. All of his pro wins come in the first round. So I think he's a great candidate to shave some ass. And I also think that Salikhov is a good decision, but and as is Ulberg, but it really came down to Zhang and Hernandez for me. And your Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week this week is going to be Carlos Hernandez to shave the ass of Niam Jargel, Tumendemberel. I love the price here at only minus 150 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. I think that Carlos is the much more skilled striker. I think he's going to win the minutes on the feet here, but he's not really a power puncher. But Tumendemberel is. So I think at some point when Tumendemberel gets a little bit too aggressive swinging those wide hooks, we're going to see Carlos get a takedown, find that it's very easy to get to this dude's back and look to finish with that rear naked choke submission. So not only do I have Carlos Hernandez to win at minus 150 for 3 units, I also have a 1 unit bet at plus 430 on Carlos Hernandez to win by submission. So I'm looking to cash big on Hernandez if he's able to get a finish in this fight. But the Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week this week is going to be Carlos Hernandez to shave the ass of Niam Jargel, Tumendemberel. So now that we've got these picks up here, let's do a Greasy 4-leg parlay. And then I'm also going to give you guys a take this job and shove it parlay. So we talked about leg 1 of the Greasy 4-leg parlay this week is going to be, now we talked about this Long Xiao by decision, but I was basically like, when I was trying to make my pick for this fight, I almost just flipped a coin because I really believe it's 50-50. But now Kwang Lee is sitting at plus 125 on Caesars William Hill Sportsbook. So that is like almost a 44% implied probability where I'm thinking he's 50-50 here. And I like his striking much better than I like Long Xiao's striking. So I do believe that Kwang Lee is going to be at least in a coin flip to win this fight. And I think he's going to be the guy landing the bigger shots on the feet. I think he's ready for this level. I think he's fought the better level of competition being an LFA compared to Wu Feng for Long Xiao and road to UFC. So I think that in order to get the odds up on this parlay, we're going to have to start off with a, close to even leg. We might be flipping a coin here, but I think if Kwang Lee gets his hand raised here, this Greasy 4-legger is going to come in at a really nice price for us. So going to Caesars William Hill Sportsbook here, I am going to pick Kwang Lee at plus 125 as leg number 1 of the Greasy 4-legger this week. Leg number 2, Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. It's going to be Carlos Hernandez to shave the ass of Niam Jargel, Tumendemberel. I am going with the minus 150 money line here. So we know why we're going with this. Hernandez, I believe, is more skilled everywhere. He's fought the much better brand of competition. I think there's a massive grappling advantage here. And as long as he doesn't get slept early in this fight, I think he's going to make this one look fairly easy. So Carlos Hernandez, leg number 2 here at minus 150. We got Muslim Salikhov being leg number 3 of this parlay. I am not a fan of Song Kanan. I think Muslim is the much better minute winner at range. I think he's a lot more likely to win minutes in the grappling exchanges should there be any wrestling in this fight. I think it'll be Salikhov that's initiating the wrestling and winning minutes with it. And when it comes to moment winning, I think Song Kanan is just as likely to land a big shot as is Muslim Salikhov. So while the line isn't exactly where I'd love it to be, I don't love laying minus 185 on a 40-year-old fighter, who's most of his pictures are in black and white. I still think that he's a much better fighter than Song Kanan. And when you look at Song Kanan's strength of schedule, the guy's really never beaten anybody with a pulse at the UFC level. So I think that Muslim Salikhov would be by far his best win, and I don't think it's going to happen. Muslim Salikhov, the king of Kung Fu, came up fighting in this part of the world. Not really a road fight for him here. So I think he's going to get the job done. And then let's give you a nice, fat, big, wide line to hedge out on should we hit the first 3 legs of this and go with the Peter Yan money line at minus 300 here as leg number 4. We get Yan in there. We can see that now this comes out to plus 670 on Caesars Sportsbook, and it's going to be Peter Yan, Muslim Salikhov, Carlos Hernandez, and Kwang Bang Lee going up against Long Xiao. 670. I think Yan gets the job done here. I think he's going to be the much better striker. And I think he's the better minute winner in the grappling exchanges as well because he has better takedown defense and he has more accurate wrestling. So I do believe that Yan's going to win this fight. So at plus 670, I think that this is a pretty fat, greasy 4-leg parlay. And we gave you a full card breakdown here in only 37 minutes. I'll give you guys a take this job and shove it parlay, which is on the UFC Macau probability show notes that went out to all the people that sign up on the Patreon here. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. And let's see what's happening here in the chat with you guys here as we've got, okay. We got Muhammad Bruce Lee saying, now it's you lads staying up until 6 a.m. for once. Yeah, and that's totally fair. You Brits have got to be laughing your ass off at us punk-ass Americans who are bitching about having to get up at 3 a.m. to watch a fight card when you guys have to do that on the regular. So for once, the shoe is on the other foot, and the people in Europe are getting a decent start time for once. We got Cuban Assassin saying, Weezy Weez, what a performance by our guy Ozempic Keith Peterson. Time to get some new refs in the mix. We've been calling these refs out for years. Old school refs with old school habits. Yeah, that was disgusting. How do you hit somebody in the back of the head 50 straight times and the ref standing right there looking at it and does absolutely nothing? I was shocked about that. Strikes to the back of the head are so dangerous. So that's not good to see that. And yeah, I mean, it's time to get rid of this guy. He's terrible. He's a terrible fucking ref. When has he ever been good? I mean, like, this guy's fucked up numerous times. He doesn't stop fights that should be stopped. He doesn't penalize anybody for fence grabs, for eye pokes, for fucking blows to the back of the head. It's just a bunch of bullshit. We got PPC Bernier in the room saying, wake up, Uncle Weezy. I'm up, baby. We got Olajuwon saying he's contemplating waking up for the main card. Yeah, man, it's going to be hard. And we got Mushroom MMA in the room saying, what's up, Uncle Weezy? Want to have sleep until violets. Why is Song Kanan? Yeah, it's because Song is, one of the more popular Chinese fighters on the roster. And because Muslim Salikhov is very much loved in China. They love him there. So I think that it's a high-level fight for them, and they're going to be really happy to see both those guys in the cage. We got Mushroom and Olajuwon saying, what's up, dude? Sneak vaping at work, my guy Mushroom, hilarious. Olajuwon wishes he could do that. And he found Peter KO 3 through 5 at plus 500. Peter rounds 4 or 5 plus 950. Peter to land more significant strikes at minus 225. I like all of those spots, dude. He's definitely going to land more significant strikes. I think even if he loses. We got Ricci to land more strikes, Jan to land more significant strikes, same game parlay, plus 900. Ricci keeps cashing these. I like that. She's got a ton of volume, dude. Love that play. So do I, man. All right, this week we'll all be asleep, so we'll get to wake up to Christmas morning with a four-legged cash. I hope you're right about that, Michael. It'd be nice to hit this one. Flapjacks for everyone. Let's get it, Weezy. Let's go, Mike. We got, man, I'm craving KFC right now. That crispy seasoned chicken skin and gravy. It sounds pretty good. Mota's getting slept, says my guy Jacob Cole, and that certainly could happen. Mota should bring a pillow. We got House of Pain Michael saying, PPC, you're killing me. Snow, I have to stop on the way home and get KFC. Helder Stuari in the room saying hello from Brazil and saying, oi, saying, let's go, Unc. I'll fight Callum for Tabitha. Good luck with that, man. Callum's a pretty good boxer. You're going to have to take that dude down and submit him, but you're from Brazil, so you probably could do it, man. Forrest Daniels saying, Uncle Weezy, you're a true gem and American treasure for the entire MMA community. Uncle Weezy for president. Appreciate you, Forrest. Thanks for hanging out, man. TH is in the room saying, oi. We got Broke Degen saying, what's up? We got Lajuan saying, oh, yes. We got Broke Degen saying he's got it blasting on the stereo. We got Nathaniel Kanaw saying, I like the intro. That's a sick track, Uncle Weezy. Truly appreciate you. That is the Matt from the Golden Octagon that put that together for me. We got Love the Point, LOL. We got, that's right. We got Ray Charles in the room saying, oi. We got, let's see, Uncle Weezy with the fire intro song and saying, yeah, it cut for you guys, J-Mo. We saying Central Time for the win. Yes, sir. We got Tricky Card, says Jacob Cole. I agree. It is pretty tricky. We got Kadeep in the room saying, oi, what is up, Godfather? We got saying, oi, Rocket Red countdown liftoff. Going to be great. I'm going to take a nap, wake up around the LFA for a little bit, and then take another nap until 3 a.m. There you go. And then going to go into Saturday. You got tons of stuff. Cage Warriors, the best organization out there. Brave CF, my favorite Muslim in the world, the Prince of Bahrain, KHK, His Excellency. Yes, sir. I like Brave FCF. I think it's a great combat sports organization. And Cage Warriors, probably the number one organization in Europe. There's a lot of good regional scene MMA out there these days. Let's see. Uncle Weezy paid off for me last week with the picks. Let's go. Glad to hear that, J-Mo. Oh, yeah. By the way, I didn't even put out there last week on up 5.6 units last week. We had a 3-unit bet on Marcin Tybura that cashed at plus 100. We had a 1-unit bet at plus 210 for Nickel to win and over 1.5 rounds that cashed. We had a 1-unit bet on Mora to win by decision at plus 300 that cashed. We lost a 1-unit bet on the Hafez scorecards equals no action. And we lost a 1.5-unit bet on a Mickey Gall, Karine Silva parlay where both legs shit the bed. So, yeah, still up 5.6 units, though. Very good week. We got Grateful Dude saying, oh, yes, what's up, Grateful Dude? Broke Degen saying Macau is great. It's actually its own little thing. It's not even really China. Yeah, it's got its own flag. It's the casino, the Las Vegas of there. And in fact, it's way bigger as far as just all the casinos. It's not better at all. Okay. And he's saying that when they first opened, a lot of people went out there to play poker, to play against the Chinese donkeys. Even I was thinking about it because I'm a pro poker player, but I didn't want to go to China. Yeah, I hear you, dude. Underdog Mota, second round KO, TKO. That is my pick for the week, my man. Covert Bets in the room saying, oh, what is up, Covert? Good to see you hanging out in here. I was wondering if that title was some sort of misprint. It is the full card breakdown, just the tip balls deep breakdown, I call it. And the Greasy, like, nice. Yes, that is the correct title. Yeah, because that's what I'm doing now is I'm doing just the tip. Used to be like a 2.5-hour show. Now I switched that over to balls deep breakdowns, and I do it just for the Patreon and Dub Club members. And then now I just show up and do a very quick full card breakdown called Just the Tip and give you guys the Greasy 4-leg parlay. The Weezy of Oz and me have the same first pick. I love it. Let's go. There we are, man. Xiao by decision. Yeah, I think that's very live this week for us. Long's a tough moho, but who knows? The vibe is a lot different than this fight than the last. Yes, that's for sure. Jose Ochoa about to pull off the upset, says Ruthless Soda Pop. Dude, he's a good fighter, Ochoa. Kwang Lee will get the job done. I hope you're right, MTG, because I'm thinking about betting him. Jacob saying Ochoa won the face-off. I'll say that. Damari Sims saying got it here in time for the live show. What's up, Damari? Good to see you hanging out in here, man. MTG saying Carlos Hernandez is more of a well-rounded fighter for sure. I just noticed that Maheshate barely even fights, doesn't even have any fights at all. That's kind of making me think for sure he's not the pick at all. You got that. I really don't like Carlos Hernandez's record of late. He got knocked out by Tyra not that long ago and lost decisions to not great fighters. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the unknown underdog. We got TH saying, LOL, nighty-night, keep your butthole tight. That is for sure, man. You don't want to get knocked out by some of these guys, and Tumendemberel is definitely one of them. Yeah, Ulberg decision is my pick, Jacob. Zion Williamson got the Volkov back tat. Did he really? Nice, dude. Truth Hurts in the room. What's up, Truth Hurts? We got Jacob saying Zion should go back and play offensive tackle for Duke. Jeff saying don't sleep on Fernandes. With enough grit, I believe she can go on to a 30-27 unanimous decision. That would be interesting, but I don't think she's as good of a striker as Wang is, but we'll find out. Jacob saying Wang's a bad bitch. Yeah, she is, dude. She's good, but, this is a good test for her and Gabriela Fernandes. Swimming Mills is saying my sixth leg is Kong, Peter Yan, Ulberg, Feng, Song, and Mota. Yeah, I mean, like Mota, I agree with you there, and I don't agree with the Song pick, but good luck to you, Swimming Mills. That would be a pretty good number there because Song and Mota are both dogs. It's weird. Ulberg has had 5 canceled fights this year, including one where he pulled out and one where he was injured. 5 canceled fights for Ulberg? Really? Wow, that's a lot. Let me see here. Ulberg. So the 2 Reyes fights canceled where Ulberg was injured, and then Reyes withdrew from the next one. The Menafield bout was rescheduled from March 30th to May 11th, and then the Jamal Hill was a Hill knee injury, and then the Anthony Smith fight was an Ulberg withdrawing. Okay, yeah, dude, that's a lot of fights. So, but like the Reyes fight got rescheduled, or Reyes pulled out once, and the Menafield fight got rescheduled. But yeah, that is a lot. That definitely is a lot. I never fucking bet on Muslim Salikhov ever. I've always been against him every single time. Love Yan this week, honestly. Yan Zhaonan or Peter Yan. Oh, that's funny. Jeff Bruno kind of got fooled by what you were saying. That's nice, buddy. We got no name Don Do Lose. What do you think of Marwanani? I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Marwanani is. Angela Hill beat the shit out of that midget shark, and I actually had to block one of my best friends on Twitter at the time because he wouldn't admit that the midget lost. She's going to get killed. John is going to beat the shit out of that tiny little midget, okay? The Legend of Maheshate, says Genova. We got Avery Cutsale saying that he's got Song by knockout. Tumendemberel by knockout. I put a little bit on Tumendemberel by KO at plus 900, 950, something like that. Ricci by decision, says Avery. We got Johnny Paycheck pick. Yes, sir. We got to do it, man. We got to take this job and shove it parlay coming up for my guy Genova 7 here. We got Olajuwon Dream in the room saying, grease me up. We got No Name saying, what would you do if I wanted to be greased up by you? I probably would not help you out there. We got Weezy the GOAT. Friday never fails. Let's go, man. I bet against Jan the last 4 fights in a row. He's done compared to all those guys he just fought. I'm loaded up. I've been a huge fan of Marab and Aljo. I was there in Fresno for the 2017 terrible night. Lucky knee. Marlon got that lucky knee on Aljo. Been a big fan since that Fresno fight. And Matt Serra just ended Frank Trigg's career with a KO. Yeah, and then Trigg career made referee debut in Marab's match. We got Ray in the room. Oi! Yes, I picked Ricci. Yes. We got PPC saying Weezy always looking like the dude from Big Lebowski. Yes, man. The Royal We in the room. Fernie in the room saying, happy Thanksgiving, Uncle Weezy. Yeah, same to you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. B-Neg saying, congrats on your correct pick percentage. You've had a great 2024. Truly appreciate that, B-Negs. Yeah, definitely got a great pick percentage this year. Phenomenal. Beer and cigarettes. Yes, there we go. Did we ever have a probability show, Weez? I couldn't find it, brother. Yes, it is on there on the Patreon. If you go there to the Patreon, oh, come on. What? There's the probability members only live stream there. So it's right there on the homepage, and it's also in the Dub Club as well. The probability members only live stream. We went live last night. No, yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So yeah, the probability show notes are also on the Patreon as well for all the members on the probability $25 a month tier. And we got after the fight, Matt Serra, he screamed, you did it, you Marab, you won, and then you won your debut in the UFC. And then when he lost, Matt said, I'll never again tell that fighter he won. Corrupt. Pancho saying, what are the odds that I wake up at 3 a.m. Pacific time for a UFC event? I don't know. I mean, are they decent? I'm not exactly sure, man. It's hard to get up at the last at that hour. I would say plus 450, says Pancho. Yeah, man. I probably won't be getting up for the first few fights. He lost to the best fighters in the division, literally the two guys from Weidman Longo, and literally the best fighter in the entire division. We got Hazer Mota fight to end by KO, Uncle Weezy. I think that's a pretty good play, dude. I'd be surprised if that went the full 15 minutes, but the line has gotten juiced. It was originally minus 160, and then went all the way to minus 250. Robert saying, thoughts on the Jones win? People complained about John not facing Tom, but John has been in the UFC since 2008, beating 15 number one contenders. It's a tad ridiculous. I have how fast casuals forget. I thought it was a great win. I mean, like, it's not like Stipe looked great. Obviously, Stipe is 42 years old, but the performance by Jones was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, he just dominated him. Great takedown in the first round, 10-8'd him in the first round, then finished him in the third with the body kicks. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great performance by John Jones, and I think that he's doing something extremely smart right now, which is saying, okay, if you want to fight, if you want me to fight Aspinall, let's see. Let's talk contracts. Let's see. What do you got for me? And he's holding all the cards right now. So I think if they come to him with a deal that makes sense, he'll fight Aspinall. If not, he'll do whatever the fuck he wants. He's John Jones. He's the greatest of all time. So I agree. We got okay, and we got that. Let's see. We got B-Neg saying John should be stripped if he doesn't fight Tom next. Yeah, we'll see what they do, but they're definitely we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh no, Muhammad Ali's not going to be able to beat him. He's dead now, and he already had Parkinson's before he was dead. But you know what? If Jake Paul fought like Weekend at Bernie's style Muhammad Ali, he'd probably be able to sell it to Netflix and probably crash their platform. And I think he'd win the fight too, but we'll have to see. Saying, okay, you sold me on Hernandez. Yeah, I mean, I think Hernandez is going to, I just don't like what I see from Tumendemberel here. And Hernandez is, I think, a little bit underrated in just how well-rounded he is. Song looks like he's had some bad results lately. Yeah. I mean, he looked great against Rick Glenn, but I mean, Rick Glenn's not good. Rick Glenn's done for. And Rick Glenn's a former 45er who was fighting up at 170 for that. I mean, it didn't make any sense. So he's had some bad results, but I think that Muslim's going to win. How live is Oezdemir by sub since he doesn't have much of a chance on the feet? I mean, Oezdemir just doesn't get submissions. If you look at this, my betting template here, Oezdemir by sub is plus 1,800. He's got 1 of 8 wins as a pro are by submission at the UFC level, and 2 of 19 professional wins have been by submission for Volkan Oezdemir. And Carlos Ulberg's never been submitted in his career, but he only has 1 loss. So I mean, the plus 1,800, I suppose it doesn't hurt to take a small poke, because if you think that Volkan's going to grapple here, then maybe he will wind up getting a submission. But, you know, it's not something I'm going to play. Let's cash it, baby. Let's go. Josh C saying Jan and Figgy fight isn't showing up on DraftKings now. Yikes. That's a yikes. Let me see. I still see it there. Oh, wow. It looks like Jan went to minus 340 on DraftKings. So get in there, you guys. If you're still available here on the Greasy four-legger on Caesars, it's still plus 670, and Jan is still sitting at minus 300. So might want to get that. We got Grappling Master MMA in the room saying Weezy for PM. Prime Minister, maybe. That'd be a pretty good one. We got Gagnon saying Jan Figueiredo is such a nice match. Agreed, man. I think it's a great main event. We got AWMD in the room. Oh, what is up, dude? We got my guy Paku all the way from down under saying, sure, what is up, Paku? Good to see you hanging out here. Australia down under. Oh, what's up, Aussie fight fan? Jacob saying, if I was a UFC fighter, I'd get knocked out on purpose just for the ASMR high of coming to Chris T's soothing presence. Chris Tione. Let's get an ice 8-legger. Let's go, man. Twizzy Rich in the room saying Oezdemir's a live dog. I feel like there's 0 good wins to his name, and Alonzo just goes on to get sparked again. And we got Paku saying I got Ulberg and Feng 2-leg and Ochoa underdog. What you think? Yes, I think that hits, and I think Ochoa is going to lose, but I think it's going to be a lot closer to what the line indicates. I think Ochoa is a live underdog here. That would be a pretty good one. I don't mind it at all, Paku. Oh yeah, now I get it. It's just the tip is the short one, and the ball is deep as the long one. Of course, I never put 2 and 2 together. But of course, the deeper you go, the longer the video. Damn right, broke D-Gen. We got Green Bad saying Mota KO, Kong KO, Zhang KO. There you go. We got Stacking Cream saying, man, I've been checking all day. I got it now, though. I'll watch after we got it. There you go. Good. I'm glad it showed up for you, dude. Did you mention a sack your job parlay? It's coming up, Ray Charles. Coming up here. Max bet Zhang KO round 1. I think it hits, man. I changed my mind. You sold me on Hernandez when you did the Greasy Lake parlay. Ice, you definitely changed my mind. I said that. Oh, dude, you didn't get your job. We went past your joke. She said she was going to lose the decision. He missed it, but that's a nice Weezy slip. Weezy's Patreon is plus EV, says my guy Remdog. I agree, man. We should consider doing a morning vlog hair routine titled Solid Hairline Past 40. That would be awesome. Seriously, brother, you put in mad work. I look forward to that show. Really mad myself for missing it. Yeah, man, don't worry about it. We got Twizzy saying Hernandez should win for sure. Everyone on the Nyam Hernandez inside the distance in the later rounds, I feel. Yeah, I think maybe round 3 if he gets a submission, but that's the pick that I'm going with. But I don't know, man. I hope he grapples. Carlos Hernandez, if you're listening, please grapple this guy. He's Top Noi Kirwam was looking like Jordan Burroughs in there against this kid. All right. And Top Noise is a pure Muay Thai striker who smokes with cigarettes. So please take this guy down. We got my guy, Big Steve. Shout out Big Steve in the room saying first time receiving Weezy's tip live. Let's go, Big Steve. We got Broke D-Gen saying Jan is 5'5" and big and strong. Literally looks like a dude when she's flexing. Baby Shark's listed at 5'1" with a 61. I guarantee you she's 5'4" with 60. Yeah, she's a lot smaller than Jan for sure. Everyone on Niam, yeah, I mean they can have them. I like the minus 150 on Hernandez here. I'm fine with that, man. We got Josh C saying so weird. I closed and reopened, still isn't showing. Really? On the Patreon? I was getting worried. What? Why is it not showing? We got Alex Lund saying Feng, Zhang, Ulberg, Jan plus 205. I think that hits. I do think that it hits, Alex. Joshua saying Uncle Weezy Mofos, get your money. Let's go, Josh. Good to see you hanging out in here. We got Covert Bets MMA saying, what up, Paku? Midget Shark 105er. Now that she's all yoked, I don't think she can make 105. Let's see here. We got plus 650 Black Friday. Let's cash it. Let's go, man. That's the problem when you're too small for the smallest division. It's a bad problem to have. Yeah, they were literally doing an exhibition. Tyson pulled a punch that almost knocked him out. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, it's a 58-year-old guy in there. It was literally a fake fight. And it was from both sides. It was completely fixed, and we both got fooled. Absolutely fixed by both sides, Jake and Mike and the teams. Thoughts on the Figgy point spread? I don't mind it, but I think he might get finished, Covert. I think Figgy might get finished late in this fight, 4th or 5th round potentially. But if he doesn't, I think that plus 5.5 probably hits because I think he's going to win that first round. I think Figgy's going to win the first round because Peter just starts slow. And Figgy is such a talented moment winner that I think that he could potentially lose the minutes of this fight and still bank 2 of the rounds just by winning some moments, landing some big shots. So I don't hate it. I'm not going to get there myself, though. We got Chin Check MMA in the room saying, oi, what's up, Chin Check? We got Paku saying, what's up to Covert? We got Elijah Stream saying, great stuff as always, Weezy. Good luck tomorrow, everyone. We got Jake Paul minus 210 was a gift. Yes, it was. We've got M-Test saying, thanks, Weezy. Chi-Town, what up? What's up, dude? It's good to see you hanging out in here. And Twizzy saying, Yan, Wang, Long Xiao, bout over. Carlos and Muslim plus 700. I like it, dude. I think that probably hits. In fact, Salajuan, crazy line. All right, you guys, the take this job and shove it parlay is going to be Carlos Hernandez to win by submission at plus 390 on draft or on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. That's going to be line number 1. Line number 2 is going to be Carlos Ulberg to win by decision. Plus 310. Leg number 3, Tabitha Ricci to win by decision. Sitting at plus 275. That 3-leg parlay comes out to plus 7,434. If it hits, you can take some good money, put it on this parlay. I am picking Carlos Hernandez by 3rd round submission. I am picking Carlos Ulberg by decision. I am picking Tabitha Ricci to win by decision. I have tracked bets on all 3 of those bets. If all 3 of them hit, we're getting a 75-1 odds on it, and I think it will be a good way to go into your boss's office on Monday morning, kick over his garbage can, tell him you're not working here anymore. I got rich listening to my Uncle Weezy, so you can cram it with walnuts, ugly, and then you get out of that office, and then you tell everybody, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me to your Uncle Weezy's Patreon so you guys can quit your fucking jobs too? And all those cowards are going to be like, no, we're too scared. We want to continue working for the guy that you just told to cram it with walnuts, ugly. And we're not going to take any risks in life because we're cowards and we're losers. But the rest of us, we get to hang out. We get to cash some tickets for this UFC Macau event, which is starting at 3 a.m. So to take this job and shove it parlay, Carlos Hernandez by submission, Carlos Ulberg by decision, and Tabitha Ricci to win by decision, plus 7,500. Let's get it, you guys. So got you a full card breakdown. Got you a dog pick of the week. Got you Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. Got you a greasy 4-leg parlay. We talked with the chat. Got you a take this job and shove it parlay. Still 200 of you hanging out live here between Twitter and YouTube. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. And please consider joining the Patreon so that you can get access to the betting models that you see here for over-under bets and for prop bets, the matchup stats for each fighter, compared to the divisional benchmarks, the overall fighter stats in every possible category, including DFS statistics for DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, and Underdog, and access to the probability show 2 hours every week, access to Balls Deep breakdowns 2 hours every week, access to fight write-ups, in detail fight write-ups for every fight on the card, only $25 a month on the Dub Club on the Patreon. Links in the description of this video. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it. Let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for UFC Macau. Enjoy the week off. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we will see you in a couple weeks when we come back for UFC 310, which is taking place, I think, in Las Vegas, but I'm not sure. And it's going to be headlined by, I think, Colby Covington and Joaquin Buckley. Very interesting card. All right, you guys, let's have a great weekend. Enjoy watching the fights, and we'll see you after the week off. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care.